Hey everyone, I'm tennyak, and as you are well aware, we are right now about halfway through Season 2 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I love Season 2. I love Season 2. You know, I say that Season 4 is my favorite season, and really that's a little bit of the lesbian in me talking, because of course we all know what happens in Season 4. I don't need to say it. But honestly, I love Season 2. I love Season 2 for so many reasons. You know what? I love Season 2 because it's a great story arc. Season arc. And I can't stand Buffy and Angel together. But when they're either not together, when they're on their separate shows, or when they're trying to kill each other, it's not so bad to watch. So I definitely, love Season 2 for that reason. But also Season 2 has hands down the best filler episodes of any season. And if you guys want to argue with me, please feel free. If you guys want to list some examples or episodes to argue with me, again, please feel free. My favorite episode of all times in the entire 144 episodes of Buffy, it's not Selfless. It's not Once More with Feeling. It's not Hush. It's not Restless. These are all top episodes, and it's not one of those. No. My favorite episode of the entire series ever is in Season 2, and it's a filler episode, and it's a little episode called Killed by Death. So I think I might be wearing like a party hat, and I might be throwing some streamers or confettis or something when I finally go ahead and review that episode. But definitely some of my favorite episodes I'm going to review right now. We are talking about the filler episodes between the very first two-parter of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the second two-parter of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We are talking about Ted and Bad Eggs. Whoop whoop! And I also think it's really funny that it's really early in the morning, and I'm pretty sure my roommates are still asleep, and the window's open. So I could be disturbing some people right now with my Buffy joy, but you know what? Sometimes you need to force the Buffy joy onto people, because they don't know what they're missing in their lives. Alright. Ted. Oh my god, what do you think of when you think of Ted? I think of Robot. Okay, what else do you think of when you think of Ted? I think of John Ritter. What do you think of when you think of John Ritter? I think of the best guests they have ever had on Buffy ever. In the entire 7 seasons, in the entire 144 episodes, John Ritter was the best guest they ever had. And he, rest his soul, he was so amazing on Buffy. And if for some crazy reason out there you guys have not seen the outtakes or the interviews of the Season 2 box set, there's an interview with John Ritter, and he makes a joke about going through Buffy's things, and that's how he gets in the role. And he's just wonderful. Everything he brings to the character makes the character come alive and makes the character just be so cool. And honestly, we are talking about demons here. This show is about vampires and demons. And that's what we've talked about. And the only other episode so far that's been about technology was back in Season 1, I, Robot, You, Jane. But you know what? It was still about a demon. This has nothing to do with a demon. This has to do with a robot. And where the hell did that come from? We're watching Buffy, the demons, vampires, drama issue, Watcher, Chosen One, teenage girl. All of a sudden, dude, we're hit in the face with a robot. Alright, I'm really excited about this episode. Really what this episode, it's about a robot, but the real Ted, obviously, he was a genius, and he built a psychotic robot. So we can't really, I wanted to blame the human Ted, the original Ted, for a moment, about, being a serial killer, but he wasn't. It was just the robot. But how did the robot get to be that way? Was it just because the real original Ted forgot to say, forgot to put in his programming, oh, you'll only do this once, you know. But, you know, he wanted to seek his revenge. He wanted, after he died, he wanted his robot self to go back and get the wife that had left him and hold her hostage until she died. And it was only, you know, a lapse on his part that the robot Ted, you know, kept doing it over and over and over again for the next 50 years. I'm sorry, I had to suck up some mucus there. So this is a bad thing. This isn't a vampire or a demon that has no soul. This is a human being with a soul doing something horribly harmful to another human being. And really, that is what the core of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, the show, is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about real life evils that we see every single day, that we see every day on the news, that we see every day with our own eyes on the streets. It's supposed to take those real life evils, put a spin on it, put some fangs on it, maybe some scales, but at heart, it's about the real life evils. But this time, they don't hide it as much. They don't hide it behind a giant snake eating young girls at a fraternity. They don't hide it behind, you know, any other examples. They don't hide it behind that. They put a little Buffy spin on it. They throw a robot in your face. But really, I think this is one of the most, from that point of view, I think this is one of the most brazen episodes so far. And really, that's all I have to say about Ted. Well, you know what? I could say a lot more. I could say about, you know, Buffy having to deal with the... Yeah, why don't we talk about that? Buffy thinks she killed a person. She has to deal with the consequences of the number 2 rule, which is to never kill a human. Of course, we all know what the number 1 rule is to slaying, which is don't die. But she killed a human. She didn't mean to. She meant to beat him up, but oops, you know, she killed him, and she's not completely blameless because she meant to cause him harm. You know, thank God he ended up being a robot, and our dear Buffy is still our dear Buffy, who can do no wrong. But she has to deal with that, and I would not be surprised if it caused her to just throw in her hat and quit altogether. I know she quit when she found out she was going to die, but Buffy's a lot stronger now, and she knows what it means to be more of a slayer. She's not just more stronger, she is more of a slayer now. And, you know, with Faith, when she killed somebody, it caused her to go to the bad side. But with Buffy, I think it would just cause her to lose herself, you know, with the isolation of her mom. And I know her friends and her watcher are still there for her, but I think the blame, it would just have caused her to disappear. And we know she's capable of that because we all know what happens, you know, later on at the end of the season. And you know what? Let's just say it. Yay! Jenny and Giles are back together. Yay! But let this be a lesson to you all in the Buffy universe. The moment you get smoochies and the moment you're happy, one of you is going to die. Horribly, horribly maimed. Or you're going to find out one of you is going to betray the other. So, really, there's no point to loving anyone or being happy at all if you live in the Buffy universe. But, alright, this video is pretty long, so I was originally going to do 2 episodes in one video, but, I'll see you guys for the next video of Bad Eggs, which will be in 1 second. I'll see you guys in a minute.